Well, and I think that, obviously it makes it easier if the draft's pushed back. And hopefully we get back in the office, in 2 weeks when they said, I don't know, April 9th or somewhere in that area. Yeah. Hopefully we're able to get back into the office by then. Really, Alexis, we feel pretty good about where we are. We'd rather have it backed up so we can get all our scouts and everybody in. But if it's limited and we can stay there and they're not going to move the draft, we're in good shape. And I think that, one of the reasons why I think that, with the coaches not going to the combine and them spending the whole week here just on the college side, has put us way ahead there because we've got the coaches' rankings already. And so the scouts are already working on next year a little bit to the 2020 summer manual and so 2021 summer manual. And so we feel like we're in pretty good shape. If it moves back, great. We're ready for that. If it doesn't move, then we'll be ready for that too.
John Elway with his thoughts to DenverBroncos.com about the possibility of the draft moving. The general manager subcommittee wants the draft to be delayed. GM Mickey Loomis of the Saints has gone on record with Peter King on the Peter King podcast saying the draft should be delayed. It's 4 weeks from today, Chris, and look, I don't know how many GMs are going to sign off on this idea that the draft should be delayed. I think there are some who are quietly thinking, go ahead, complain, go ahead, advocate, go ahead, and we're going to be ready to make the picks 4 weeks from tonight, and we're going to be just fine because we're spending this time adjusting our approach, getting the information we need, and making chicken salad out of a situation that everyone has to deal with in the same way. I don't think it's moving. I don't care how many people come out and say they'd like it to move. I think that the NFL is hell-bent on going forward with the draft, as hell-bent as it was on going forward with free agency last week. And I've just already gotten to the point of acceptance. I'm not even going to argue for pushing it back. And for me, I don't care. I don't have to make the picks. It's up to the teams to figure out how to do it. But I am convinced they're going forward with this draft 4 weeks from tonight, no matter what anyone connected to any of the teams has to say.
Yeah, I mean, it seems that way. And to what you're saying, Mike, selfishly, that I want to see it go on. I mean, yeah, there's not much going on. There's nothing going on in the sports world. Okay, so from that standpoint, I just want the entertainment factor. The other thing is, I kind of want to see these teams and GMs squirm a little bit, all these coaches, and just see how it plays out. But like John Elway, I'm not worried about him. I know some of those guys that work for him and behind him, the scenes in the front office. They're a very well-prepared group. They've had a really good free agency so far to begin with anyways. And then, also I just think of like, Mike, I mean, I don't think we're going to hear anybody in New England complain. I bet you they're ready. Baltimore, Seattle. I can just think of some of the top tier organizations where I just feel like, they're always prepared. And like you said just a minute ago, and or what Elway said, I would bet, some of those top tier organizations, they're already feel good about where they are for this year. Yeah, they're figuring out order and who they like a little bit more than this guy and that guy. But I bet you a lot of these great organizations are already on to next year to a degree as far as how they feel about those guys. So I don't think it's going to end up being as a big issue as we all think it will be. It's just except for some of the guys that have red flags with personal off the field issues. That's what's going to really drive GMs crazy.
Well, and somebody's going to roll the dice on those guys. The question is, how far do they fall? Right. And they may lose a lot of money because they don't have a chance to prove themselves. But you made an excellent point, and it's so rare that you make an excellent point. I need to make sure that we emphasize this.
You're such a jerk.
I call the draft all the time the ultimate reality show about nothing, right? It is a TV show. And the fact that the teams are going to be squirming is going to add to it. It's giving the NFL more reason to go forward 4 weeks from tonight. Good. You want to complain about the draft? You want to argue it should be pushed back? You want to point out all the reasons why we're going to have a hard time? Keep doing it. It makes the draft more compelling, Chris.
Right. Now we're going to have a camera on you in your draft room while you're squirming and uncomfortable, and we're really all going to enjoy it. Sounds good to me. I'm all in on it.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.